The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have 2 new episodes of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina for you.
The penultimate episode for us, part 2.
Yeah. I'm excited and I'm a little mad at Dorian.
It's just out of nowhere.
It's out of nowhere. It makes no sense. Dorian's like, I'm only interested in to protect myself or whatever. And you're like, bro.
He's what does he say? It's like I'm a viewer or something?
No, he's basically Blackwood's like, what do I owe you for your alliance? And he's like, oh no, I'm purely a spectator.
Yeah.
But
purely a snitch.
My theory is it's because he's the only one who can currently cheat death because of his painting. And so he's like, if she's cheating death, what the fuck is going on?
That's trouble for me.
Yeah, is this going to be a problem for me?
Yeah, that's a good rationale. Because otherwise you're like, but he was just protecting Nick and Ambrose in the last episode.
Yeah, I think he might also be trying to protect Nick with this.
Oh.
It's like, oh, Nick's in too deep.
Yeah,
like with this girl.
Mm-hmm. Separate her from Nick and then he'll be okay.
Yeah, like I got to save him from her.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's my theory.
We've gotten to at least an okay place, but
anyway.
He's still a snitch.
He's still a snitch. And what do snitches get?
Yeah, stitches.
Which is crazy because like he can't die, but like Sabrina will figure out a way.
Yeah. I mean,
no, I don't think she ever finds out.
Right, yeah, probably.
I don't think this like ever comes up again.
I don't think so either. This is much like Riverdale, where things they happen and you kind of move on.
Some of them, not a lot of them.
No.
This picks up more threads than most, and I could be wrong.
But I think that definitely more than Riverdale. But there are still things like that never comes back up, does it?
I also think it's one of those things to show us that Dorian is Nick's friend and not Sabrina's.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, does Sabrina really have true friends?
Yeah, not with Dorian at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we get her other friends showing up and things.
That's true. Well, kind of.
Theo for sure.
But then, and in the next episode, then Roz. But
and Harvey is Harvey.
Harvey's Harvey.
Yeah, we don't count that. Oh no. Well, if you love it, set it free, and maybe the thought I had will come back around.
That's what I always tell you.
That's right.
All right.
Well, we've got one cast member today, so we'll just shout him out real quick. All right, playing Methuselah, who I didn't know the name of until he was dead. Played by William B. Davis.
So is this a different council than the creepy guys that showed up last time?
Yeah. So that's another thing that doesn't quite make sense.
So what council?
Those guys are like,
Yeah, what were they versus this guy?
Yeah. This seems like
the church council.
Yeah, like the like they're at the Vatican essentially.
Yeah.
In this, then the witches' council that they had seen was more Church of Night.
But
again,
these people are Church of Night.
No, they're not. Well, sorry.
Yeah.
I should say Church of Night Greendale chapter.
Oh, you think they were like a local?
Yeah,
council.
Just for like Blackwood and them.
Interesting.
This is me trying to rationalize it because I don't understand it otherwise.
Yeah, I don't really either. Unless they're just like showing that they can show up in these different ways.
I guess.
But like that doesn't really make sense either.
Yeah. I don't know. This is another one of those things. Oh, what I was actually thinking of was the how they used to talk about like being cannibals, the witches, and that's just dropped.
Yeah, we don't really eat people anymore.
No, but that was the first thing on my mind when Sabrina was talking about bringing witches and mortals together.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Don't you eat people?
Well, only Aunt Zelda.
Was it only Aunt Zelda?
She's the only one who brought it up.
I guess
I guess they ate everybody. They were going to eat Prudence.
Yeah.
But.
So I guess it's not necessarily just mortals.
Yeah, they eat anyone.
But they don't really eat witches. That's like a ritual thing.
They still ate them.
Yeah. I'm just talking about like, dinner. What are you going to have? You're going to have the Martins that are mortals down the street.
Speaking of like deaths, though, Hilda's now on a two. She's a serial killer.
Yeah. She has, let's see, who has the biggest? She might. I mean,
She
other
might-
than like our evil Blackwood, who probably has the highest body count. I think Hilda's running up here.
Yeah, I think so too.
But William B. Davis playing Methuselah, best known for his role. People might know this. The smoking man in X-Files. Doesn't mean much to us. I feel like we were born just right after the age for being right into X-Files.
I think so too.
And we were just right up. But I mean, it is potentially something we could flag for this show.
Oh, that's true.
So it seems like he's like a antagonist, but he's like very. I mean, the reason his name's the Cigarette Smoky Man. What I pick up on is that he's like kind of mysterious
The cigarette
origins.
smoky man.
Cigarette smoking man. What did I say?
I think you said cigarette smoky man.
Oh.
I was like Smokey the Bear. That's what my head was doing.
Well, poor Smokey. He really got his hit hard times by the budget cuts at the government, and now he's picked up smoking.
Oh God.
This kind of mysterious character who like shows up to kind of be an antagonist or something. You don't really know. I don't know. In video game, people might know this. It makes me think of the G-Man in Half-Life, and I wonder if that's who that was referencing. Who is also like this government bureaucratic looking guy that shows up and is like cryptic and mysterious, and you don't really know his origins. That one is a lot more supernatural, where he's like appearing in visions and shit like that.
I see.
But he's if you look at his CV, he's got a long CV.
He's
done
been
a lot
doing
of work.
shit.
And most recently, he was in The Midnight Club, which was, of course, I didn't write down the name because I'm like, I'll remember the name. He does the Stephen King adaptations now. Did Midnight Mass. All right, give me a second. I'll look him back up. Was in the TV show Upload. Was in the American adaptation of Death Note. Game Over Man, which was the Workaholics guys making a movie. And Bad Times at the El Royale. And is also a former national champion water skier and held records in older age divisions. And there's like a quote on his Wikipedia that is like, yeah, some whippersnapper at the age of 65 beat my records. It's like so amazing. All right, so if I'm going to look up real quick, The Midnight Club is by... who also did Midnight? Mike Flanagan. There we go. The Mike Flanagan Show. So other horror shows and things. But that is our one cast member this week. So we will
Love
now
it.
move on.
I said I love it.
Oh, okay. We'll now move on. All right. We ready for our first episode then?
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 18, The Miracles of Sabrina Spellman. Note up top, we think, as to our like reference in pulling a reference here, when there is the mind control happening on Zelda, and Hilda calls it positively Caligari.
Sorry, completely unrelated to the Witches' Council thing. The other ones were the Trivium, and they are like the court.
Oh, so they're the
court.
judges.
They're the judges, and this is the council.
Okay. So this is the executive branch. The ghouls are the Supreme Court.
Yes, the legislative branch.
Hey, listen. Pretty good analogy for nowadays, ain't it right?
Yeah.
You got your creepy men in the executive chamber, and you have your ghouls in the Supreme Court.
There you go.
That's my
No,
time.
judiciary. Why did I say legislative? Did I say legislative? I think I said legislative. It's the
Oh,
judiciary
I
branch.
took it as judiciary. So
I know the three.
I know what you're
houses of
talking
government. About. Yeah, but I don't want to give off the stupid American vibe.
don't ask us
I said
to
the
point
three
to your...
houses instead of branches. I need to be put down. The three houses of government.
That's
What
right.
is this fucking fantasy series? I wish. Then we'd have a hero, and instead we're just all here with each other. And I'm so sorry you're stuck with me.
That's what
I had really good grades too. I need you all to know that, like, out of the children that were behind left, I was doing pretty good.
You're just wishing for a different form of government.
I'm like, what if we had three houses and maybe they
Ooh.
were me and the girlies,
That's right. One house.
and then also the girlies in another house, and then also the girlies in a third house, and men had no Power.
That's fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Start in jail and work your way out.
That's the platform we're getting behind.
I'm putting all white men in jail.
Uh,
No, I don't want to support the prison industrial complex. So.
It's exactly. This is a thorny issue. We gotta tangle out.
Yeah.
But you're on the right path.
Yeah.
So what do I say? A Caligari, when Hilda is talking about the mind control on Zelda being positively Caligari, we think, best of our references, is that this is a reference to the horror movie, like this is 1920s movie. It's like a silent horror film. So like early, as they say, as this is classified under German expressionist cinema. The movie Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which tells the story of a hypnotist who uses a somnambulist, which is how Hilda refers to Zelda, which is essentially a sleepwalker, to commit murders. So it's like the hypnotist is using a sleepwalker to like enact things. And so similarly to how Zelda is being controlled by Blackwood.
Mm-hmm.
There.
I like it. I mean, I like the reference. So I like that he's doing it.
Yeah, you're like, good.
Like I said, men should always be in charge.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, when Zelda showed up all Stefford-wived, you were cheering.
Yes, me. I was cheering.
That's right. All right. So Harvey bursts into the academy with Sabrina full of arrows. Hilda is working on patching up Ambrose in the academy, and then Nick asks what happened to Sabrina, and Harvey tells him about Sabrina's eyes going white and going wild with power. Elsbeth and Melvin, it's like she brought them back from the dead, and she was akin to a god. So Ambrose's wounds won't heal, but then Sabrina is just awake and has the arrows pulled out of herself and says she can help. She walks over to Ambrose and tells him he's going to be fine, and his wounds just miraculously heal. Nick tells Harvey to leave, and Harvey's like, no. And then Sabrina's like, it's a good idea. I'm just going to walk you out. I thought, I understand it may be hard, and you put your budget in certain places, but I think it would have been cool to see Sabrina just wake up and pull the arrows out of herself.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Sabrina asks what Harvey saw, and he's like, you look like Dark Phoenix. And she's like, why are you talking about comics to me? And he's just turns to the camera, and he's like, okay, Phoenix is a character from the X-Men comics. And
she's a mutant.
Exactly.
Jean Grey is a mutant.
Uh-huh. Who, when she dies up in outer space, gets embedded with the Phoenix Force, which is an English presence, and she's reborn as the Phoenix, but then she has all these great powers, exactly like Sabrina, but then instead of like Sabrina being like, oh no, this is bad, she's like, hee, and starts going like mad with power until they eventually have to kill her.
Well, which is what they're trying to say that Sabrina's doing here. It's what she's leading towards, and it's a little foreshadowing for what happens in the next episode.
That's right. Harvey asks what was going on with her, and Sabrina's like, I don't know, but I think it's okay, and thanks him for coming after her. Oh, and importantly, for being there to catch me when she fell, because she was levitating up in the air full of arrows, and then Harvey caught her as she fell.
She's like, you're always there to catch me when I fall.
And then Nick's around the corner being like, grr.
He's like, but I wanted to catch her.
Uh-huh.
I love how much this boy loves her.
Yes.
There's nothing I love more than a boy who is down bad.
Mm-hmm.
I love a down bad man. Men should be down bad. They have no other purpose on this earth than to be down bad.
Absolutely.
I mean, down bad for whoever they love.
Exactly.
But especially like straight men, you should be worshiping women.
Yeah.
Like, we are gods. We create life. What do you do?
Yeah. Not much.
Not much.
But I think also, we talk...
I'm obviously really great for Brenton's self-esteem.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
I say yes. I agree full-heartedly. Nothing wrong with my self-esteem there.
That's true.
I get to be down bad.
Yeah.
What's better than that? Yeah, and I think we always like to hammer this with straight men, too, because it's like, why do y'all hate the people you're with?
Well, and I saw another woman post something that was like, why are you all dating your biggest op? Like, it's like, women date men don't like us.
It's weird.
So many men don't like women.
Yeah.
I know so many men that don't like women, and I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not friends with them anymore, but like I've met them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not want to hang out with women?
Yeah.
If you like women, why would you not want to hang out with women? Why don't you see us as people?
Yeah.
Why are we less than you?
Mm-hmm. Young men, learn from my mistakes. It is a terribly lonely place when you are putting yourself in that position.
I'm not sure how big our young male audience is, but if you're there, thank you for being here.
If you're looking. Exactly.
And you're a great person if you're here.
Yeah, exactly. You're already on the...
You're on the
Step
right
one,
path.
watch our podcast. or listen. And tell your friends, step 2.
I want to unseat Joe Rogan in the charts. Now I'm just saying.
That's right.
I think we can do it.
I think, yeah, exactly. We're so close. We're so close.
But we do love all of you that are here.
That's right. Sabrina wonders why she came back from the dead when she gets a visit from Nick at her house. Nick feels bad he wasn't there in the church to help her and catch her, and he lets slip like that little bit of jealousy. And then she's like, I always want you there to catch me, and they hook up.
Yeah.
Ambrose and Hilda tell Sabrina they're worried about her. They're like, we're concerned about everything, the changes happening with you. Sabrina's like, well, I'm going to ask Miss Wardwell about this stuff because she always knows these things. And Hilda's like, why don't we just stick around at home? We'll process what we've been through. We'll get all snuggly. Ambrose is worried about his upcoming execution and says the only people who know the truth are him, Blackwood, and Leviathan, who's in the trash at Dorian's. And that's when you're playing the Sabrina Spellman adventure game. And you're like, okay, that's when we need to go navigate to Dorian's. We got to look through the trash. We got to figure out how to get into the back of the trash. And that's when we go talk to Nick, talk him into this.
The best part of that is that Nick is the one who rummages in the trash.
Exactly. And then it's raining outside, and it's like, and so Hilda's like, oh, it's so much better to just snuggle indoors. And Sabrina's like, well, maybe it'll clear up, and changes the weather, which freaks out the family.
Hilda goes, so does she control the weather now?
Sabrina goes to visit Miss Wardwell at school, and supposedly she's out sick. And then we see Lilith upset at home about Adam, but swears to birth a monster. Sabrina thanks Roz for saving her life, and Roz asks Sabrina to heal her vision because she doesn't want to get sent to school for the blind because she worries that she won't come back. You know what? If you ask Jenna, you will come back. Sabrina says she doesn't need spells anymore. They move to the bathroom, and Sabrina turns on a faucet and focuses on the water and then tells Roz to wash her eyes. Is this directly a Jesus thing, too?
I'm pretty sure Jesus.
Yeah, and it's like, instead of like water, it's like you put the cloth on your eyes and then you could see, right?
I don't remember.
That Jesus was always doing things.
He's always doing things. And yet, I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe
What are you doing, followers? And then tells Roz to wash her face, and then Roz washes her eyes and finds she can see again. Hilda appears in the bathroom, and she's like, oh, you're just curing your friend. Interesting.
Healing the blind.
Exactly. Well, Zelda and Blackwood are home, and we have to go, so see you at home. Blackwood, Zelda, and the council came back because of the witch hunters, and apparently Blackwood is interim anti-pope. This isn't how they do it in the Catholic Church. They just hole up in a room until there's a new pope.
And then you get smoke.
That's right. And when there's smoke.
Do you want to tell them about the Burger King?
Oh, yeah. We were driving around, and there's a Burger King. There's like a steady smoke coming out of this Burger King, like a little bit concerning, but black smoke. And I'm like, they chose a new king.
And it's like a Burger King in the middle of a parking lot. Like, it really, like, it's straight out of like the 80s. Like, it's like the way this parking lot was designed. There's like businesses all along the sides, and then like in the middle there's like a Burger King,
and just steady smoke come out of it.
Yeah.
You're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, the Burger King's on fire. And Brenton goes, they chose a new king. I was like,
thank you very much.
You're very funny. I keep you.
Well, thank you. Good. Because I'm down bad over here.
As you should be as a man.
Exactly. This is him setting the example for the young men out there in the audience that we were referring to earlier. Blackwood asks how Sabrina managed her miracles, and Sabrina threatens him back, like something along the lines of like, do you really want to open Pandora's box? It's like, really, like, do you really want to mess with me?
Yeah, but she does it. I really don't understand what she talks about, how like Pandora was given, she was armed for vengeance. And that, like, basically asking her to answer this is opening Pandora's box. But it's like, she does it in front of the council.
Yeah.
And so it's like, is she thinking that, like, they'll just think it's, like, a cute, coy thing that she thinks she can overpower her high priest? Or, like, I don't really understand that part. Is it, like, showing that Sabrina's getting a little too cocky?
Yeah. I think it's trying to be like, oh, no, she's threatening Blackwood. But, like, I don't really get the the Pandora's box reference.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't
like
quite
I
work.
get the Pandora's box reference if she just said having me answer would be like opening Pandora's box, but the way they set it up is quite strange.
Yeah.
So if someone smarter than us wants to explain it to us, please do.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of clunky. And then Councilman Methuselah says, we'll decide what needs to be done, but everybody has to stay within the academy walls. And Ambrose, back to your cell. Harvey's dad encourages Harvey. It's like, hey, Harvey, you're looking down. You know what already clears my head? Working in the mines.
Boy, you want to go to the mines.
But it's like very like kind, like, offers there if you want. It's like your friend inviting you to yoga, but down in the mines. And then Harvey's like, you know what? I'm going to go join you.
And if you had to pick between going to a yoga class or going to the mines, where are you going?
Oh, the mines. I want black lung.
What if it's a Barry's bootcamp class?
Mines. There's more light down there.
I used to make Brenton go to workout classes a lot, and we used to go to Barry's bootcamp classes in the city.
If you've never been to one, it's all red light.
It's like a black, dark room with red light, and then they play the loudest music you have ever heard, and it's usually either like club music or it's like rap or it's something with like a heavy, steady beat because they're going to try to make you run as fast as you can on that treadmill. And they, depending on who your instructor is, they yell at you. I used to like to go to this woman who didn't really yell at us. She was very encouraging.
Yes.
But we went to one class once with a woman who was like my height. I'm 5 feet tall and like solid muscle. Like I was like, oh, she could easily take me in a fight. Like I'm never going to win a battle against this woman. And she, while we were running on the treadmills, because like they have you, like they'll be like, okay, go 6, 7, or 8, or whatever. And if I had mine on a 6 because I have little legs. And I'm not very fast. And she was like, you have to run faster. You're like, we're running up the hill and you're slowing everyone down. And I'm like, we're on individual treadmills.
It is Barry's boot camp, and she was literally running it like it was the Navy.
I was like, oh, this isn't what I'm used to.
No.
But I would leave those classes on cloud 9 because endorphins make me happy.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine you go through the most grueling exercise
at like 6 in the morning
for about an
on
hour.
a Saturday.
How would you feel coming out of that? And then Emily's like bouncing off the walls, like, oh yeah, that was so great, like practically like jogging back to the car, running up and down the sidewalk. Meanwhile, I'm crawling to the car, like.
One time we couldn't find our car in the parking lot, and it shared a parking lot with the local stadium, a baseball stadium, and so then. There's a game and we have to leave by a certain time or else we're going to get charged extra for parking. And Brenton was like ready to cry in the parking lot. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll just run around the parking lot and find the car.
You could have killed me right then and there, but you found the car.
I did find the car. I didn't think you were going to cry.
That was pretty close.
We made it out too without having to pay extra. We had like 2 minutes to spare.
It all worked out. But my emotional state
because I had a positive mindset.
That's right.
And it outweighed your negative one.
I was so tired.
I felt so bad for you because you were just like, we're never going to find the car. Like, maybe the parking lot's not that big. Like, we're going to find the car.
Tired and exhausted of just like, we're never doing this. Oh.
And there was like a Safeway attached to the parking lot. So I was like, we can always go in the Safeway, get a snack, come back out.
No.
Yeah. It was like dragging your toddler to the car after being in Disneyland all day, except like I was the energy vibes of the toddler and he was having the meltdown of the toddler.
That's right. 2 sides. All the students are afraid of Sabrina, and her and Nick wonder how she can do this, and she thinks maybe being half mortal is allowing her to do all this new magic, and that's why her dad was keen on witches and mortals being together, and she wants to spread his gospel. And then Melvin and Elsbeth are like, can we join you? And she's like, yes, I can tell you about the good word. Zelda and Hilda catch up alone, and Zelda seems like she's been Stefford-wifed, and then she's also not really retaining information, and Hilda is worried. Sabrina, and I say Stefford wife as in like mind controlled to be like the domesticated like vision of like the 50s housewife of like doting on the man, not really thinking outside her station, doing all like the household work and things like that. Sabrina gets a big gathering around her as she proselytizes, much like Jesus. The weird sisters come in to stop her teachings, and then Sabrina makes the room rain rose petals, and Prudence is like, how are you doing this? Harvey is in the mines when he hears a woman's voice asking for help, and he's like, I should follow it. He follows a voice
Fun fact, never follow a voice you don't know in the mines.
You know what's hilarious? This just kind of works out. I was like, oh, Theo and Harvey are so stupid. And then it's just like, nope, it worked out.
You'd
Thank
think
God
he
they
would
did.
have told Sabrina.
Yeah. Anybody else? He follows the voice to a boarded up passageway with the number 13 written on it, and he tries to look through it, but his father comes to bring him back to the group. The council allows Nick and Sabrina back to the academy, but Ambrose is still going to be executed. Sabrina says Father Blackwood gave him a familiar to control him, and Blackwood's like, where is this familiar, and why is it not in evidence? The council gives Sabrina 24 hours to bring the familiar, and Sabrina and Nick leave. Ambrose worries about Blackwood worries about Sabrina, and the council mocks him for worrying about a teen. He's like, she'll threaten all of our power if the witches trust her instead. Prudence is like, well, she'd do anything to save her cousin. And then the council's like, well, if she does any magic, performs any miracles to prevent his execution, we'll take action. Nick digs through Dorian's trash and finds Leviathan. Sabrina brings Leviathan back to life, and Sabrina gets info on Blackwood and Ambrose. They both leave, and we see that Dorian calls Blackwood with the new info. Blackwood commands Zelda to kill Leviathan, and if anyone tries to stop her, take them down. Lilith brings a man home, and the man goes to the bathroom and sees something weird in the bathtub, and Lilith comes up behind him and brains him. Sabrina puts Leviathan... This is a theme in this episode. Sabrina puts Leviathan in a glass cage for safekeeping and tells Hilda she brought him back, and Hilda worries about doing that because everything has a price, and Sabrina's like, the rules don't apply to me anymore. The part one is in the past. And then Hilda warns that she's racking up a huge debt to the universe with all the miracles she's done, and tells Sabrina not to tell everyone about her being a witch, because Sabrina's like, I'm just gonna go tell the mortals so witches and mortals can live together. And like Hilda's like, usually that's when bad things happen to witches. And then we see that Zelda comes home during this time, steals Leviathan, and puts him in a meat grinder. And Sabrina and Hilda round the corner, too late to stop her. And Hilda tells Sabrina that it's an old warlock spell that she's under, because those stupid warlocks would control their wives, and thinks the music box that she saw earlier is controlling her. Sabrina uses her magic and suddenly has the music box in her hands. And then Hilda breaks a picture of Zelda that was inside the music box, and Zelda comes back. And Zelda tells them that she couldn't control herself, but knew what was happening around her when she was under the spell, and warns Sabrina of the council's trap and not to underestimate them. Hilda says, we're also like a council of three of us, and if eyes are on Sabrina, we're free to do our magic. Ambrose is visited by Prudence and asks about Sabrina's miracles and asks what she is, and Ambrose tells her to ask for herself. Lilith reaches into her body and pulls out a rib bone and puts it in the figure in a bathtub, which is a scarecrow. At Ambrose's execution, he's brought in and put into the guillotine. The executioner pulls the cord, but Ambrose ends up fine, and the executioner loses their head. Blackwood wonders how Sabrina did it, but Prudence is like, I watched her, and she didn't even blink.
That's her second. So wait, she's actually got a kill list of 3.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Because we see Hilda had shears in the audience. Sabrina taunts Blackwood into doing it, into doing the execution, but then he turns on her and it's like, no, you do it. And suddenly the Dark Lord appears and is like, Blackwood, you degrade my coven with your pettiness, and Ambrose is free. And we see that Sabrina was clutching her hand to make the Dark Lord appear. The council digs into Blackwood and strip him of interim antipope. Sabrina suggests to Nick to hold a gathering to discuss her dad's doctrine, and Nick wonders if that's a good idea. Sabrina's like, we're going to bring witches and mortals together. Sabrina visits Roz, and Roz is like, yes, there's also some kids at my church who will totally be into this. Harvey tells Theo he has mind maps that don't include a Tunnel 13 and journals where his ancestors saw a woman in white that they thought was a guardian to something, and they're like, all right, we're going to go find this woman. Ambrose is back home, and the Spellmen share a meal. The doorbell rings, and we cut to a bunch of people partying it up at Sabrina's house. Nick subtly suggests, why don't we just have a party tonight? No doctrine. And Sabrina's like, we'll see. Theo and Harvey go into Tunnel 13 alone. As they go into the tunnel, Theo has major regrets, and Harvey gets jumped by a pale woman, and Theo puts a pickaxe in her brain. Sabrina wonders how nice it'd be for witches to step out of the shadows, and Nick worries about them if Edward's doctrine, or worries about their relationship, because Edward's doctrine is like, well, witches marry mortals. And he's like, well, where does that leave me? And she's like, we're just going to figure it out together. You'll always be there. And he's like, okay. Lilith's creature emerges from the back, and she says she's their mother and calls them Adam because they were made from her rib. The party gathers outside the house, and Roz is encouraged to see Nick believing in Sabrina. Sabrina's on the roof with the broom, and Hilda and Ambrose are like, oh no! And Ambrose is like, if she shows off her magic right here, this is going to change everything, and not necessarily for the better. Sabrina goes to step off the roof when Harvey runs up, and he's like, stop, I need to talk to you right now. If you ever loved me, you'll get off that roof right now. And we'll come back to this in the next episode. Roz asks Theo what the hell is going on, and Theo's like, we found something in the mine that Sabrina really needs to see. The close friends go into the mines, plus Nick, and they find a mosaic of a witch with white hair and a crown of thorns, and Nick says it's a prophecy, because Harvey's like, what is this? And Nick's like, it's a prophecy, farm boy. And Sabrina thinks that she's the herald of hell. The end.
Okay, let's talk about phoenix imagery.
Let's do it.
Death and rebirth. The phoenix rises from the ashes and yada yada. The end. That's all I got. Imagine if I was like, and we're done.
Yep, that's it.
So we have this dark phoenix Jean Grey thing that's explained for us. Thank you, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina is the phoenix in like multiple ways in this because she died at the beginning, or like, you know, she was dead at the beginning of the episode and rises from the dead. Ambrose is also a phoenix. He's risen from the dead. Except it's not his own fire. I don't really know how we want to play with that. But then we get the Lilith remembering who she is. She's like, I gotta remember who I am, and I'm the mother of monsters. I'm gonna create monsters. And she does this, like she says all this, like of her returning to herself, which I think is like another form of death and rebirth. Well, she's throwing the doll that Adam gave her into the fire. And I was like, she's her monster of Adam is rising from the ashes of the thing, the creepy doll that Adam gave her.
That's right.
I liked that. I thought that was fun. I like a good theme, some good imagery, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't really understand the Dark Phoenix thing from X-Men in terms of like, because phoenixes are usually like a positive or like an eternal life thing. So like I think it was just like a concept they used. And so because I don't know it, I can't speak to how like it's saying maybe like Sabrina's viewing this as a good thing, but like in Jean Grey's case, she turned bad.
Yeah, it's everybody worrying. Okay, so in the comics, like she becomes Dark Phoenix. It's
well,
like
with a name like that, it's not her fault if she does bad things.
Well, it's like so as she's Phoenix over a series of comics, it's like she has all this power, much like Sabrina, where it's like where everybody's kind of worried, like very similar, where everybody's kind of worried because it's like Jean Grey didn't used to be able to do all that. And now she's able to do that really easily. And so she has like all this power. But then instead of like Sabrina being like, I'm going to help all these people, you know, it's a little bit of like where she's pushing back on Blackwood and you have to be, and people are concerned about what she's doing. Mm-hmm. It's like Phoenix or Jean Grey starts like, it's like, oh my God, she's becoming like mad with power. And I think she starts like destroying planets.
Oh.
And then they eventually have to kill her. So it's like the mad woman trope, but that's what they're trying to like. It's like, I worry about you because you have all this power, and is that gonna essentially turn you into
like,
you know,
the Daenerys
evil
plot line that I didn't like in Game of Thrones?
Yes. Okay. But this was I mean, not to excuse that it's still like doing that mad woman thing, but it was done like in the 70s 80s.
Oh no, I understand. It was an earlier iteration of it.
Yeah,
it wasn't quite as tired.
Yeah, exactly. And you know,
because women couldn't just have power and be good.
No.
I think one of the really cool things about this show is it really does kind of address this, that like Sabrina is inherently good. Mm-hmm. She makes really bad choices, but she's inherently good and has a lot of power. Yeah. And you don't tend to see that in characters. Like in a lot of fantasy, one of my biggest pet peeves is like woman/girl, depending on age range, YA, saves the world, loses a bunch of her power. And so even here, she kind of does it to herself, but it's Sabrina. So like, how long is that going to last?
Yeah. And to your point, her doing it in the next episode is like, that's a huge mistake. You shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. It's not her being like, oh, she's the hero and she saved the world.
Exactly.
And so it turns it on its head. That's a really good way to explain it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think the other thing I really like to play with that Phoenix imagery, you can do like it's cyclical, but it's also like a rise and fall. And so we kind of have like a rise and fall of Sabrina. Like she starts this episode on the top. Like she is I don't think there's rules for me anymore. I don't think there's a price for my magic. I want to share my gifts with the world. I want to share my message with the world. I am so confident and empowered. And then at the end of the episode, she's like, I'm the herald of hell. I'm evil.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think going like that up and down, we kind of assume with Sabrina, like it's going to be cyclical.
Totally. No, that's a really good point.
I really liked that. I thought that was a fun way to also play with this and to show like a difference between like a mad woman character.
Yeah, right. Exactly. 'Cause, it's more of that she's not going like mad with power. Mm-hmm. It's that her power that she is using to like help people is in fact born from hell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more the not that she's doing wrong. It's that like it is literally born from evil.
Yes.
I think it works really well with that, and it's like how it plays into opening the gates of hell and all this thing in prophecy. And she's like, "Oh God, what have I done? Like, what have I done by like tapping into this? Signing my book, all
my
the things,
name.
Name in the book, and everything she's kind of done this season, and last season. Parts, whatever. But I don't know if it quite works as well. Well, it's just unresolved in terms of mortals and witches living together. It's like that's a really big focus of the episode, but then we're heading into the end of the season, which is about bringing hell to Earth. So it doesn't really matter as much about whether mortals and witches live together as much anymore.
So I think it actually is kind of poignant though, and we'll get to it more in the second episode because it's Wardwell / Lilith explains to us that basically Satan's ruling over all of them. Like you're losing all of your power. So when he's in charge like that, the power witches have over mortals is not going to be what it is now. Because Satan's here to put his boot on all of your necks.
Right.
Like it's not, I think that kind of plays with it as well. It's like you're going to end up being equal, but you're not going to like it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that's like, you know, it's not a great message, but I think I do wonder if that's part of like where it's going with that.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that is at least what am I trying to say? Yeah, that like what Sabrina's trying to get at. It's like we're not so different, like trying to be of like how we can mesh
they're
together.
not so different.
But I would like more of the, I guess, more focused on like the, you know, for lack of a better word, of like cultural differences between the two. It's like, okay, what would that look like integrating? It's like, because we've seen witches and things like control mortals and doing things, and we know that mortals would, I mean, you know,
we'll
hunt witches, like the hanging of the witches and things like that. So I don't know if we'll get, I can't remember. I don't think we get back around to it in the next episode because it becomes much larger. But
I also think part of it is so like she kind of not misinterprets, but kind of like misconstrues. Like one of her father's tenets was like that the witches are like you're responsible for kind of like protecting the mortals as well, like in their safety. And so like she's not really bringing that up because I think it still plays into that power balance of like then they're infantilizing them when it's like they're also equal. And so it's I think I almost see it as a comparison to the way people view gender roles of like how there are men who think that women are quote unquote equal, but think that they should be protecting women. And so therefore they don't view women as equal, not because you should protect everyone. Like it shouldn't be because we're women that you're trying to protect us. It should be because we are human beings that you are trying to protect us. And you are also a human being. Yeah. And so I think it's just another way to kind of like have that conversation.
Yeah. I get that. I think I would just like, it was less of, I think because they're pointing it out, it's like, I think I just would have liked the focus to be more on like, what does that friction look like between individual witches and mortals? Oh,
I agree. I think that's a fun way you could have taken the episode, but we're flying towards the end.
Exactly.
It's a grinding, and then I saw the mouse.
Yeah. It's really gross. It's just the focus of the end of the plot line is bigger.
Totally. I also think maybe that's part of it, is that like Sabrina's very focused on this concept and like that's not the story that's being told.
Yeah.
Like, that's her motivation, but that's not. And it's her motivation because it was her father's motivation and because she has these mortal friends in this half-mortal life.
Yeah. She's like,
Like,
I could bridge the two pieces.
Yeah, it's almost a very, it's a selfish want to be able, like, oh, I want all pieces of my life to be able to integrate in this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would be so convenient for me.
Yeah.
And she wants it from a bigger, like, she's not doing it purely from a selfish space, but there's, like, that's her motivation for it.
Totally.
Because she lives it.
Yeah.
That's not, like, a bad thing.
No,
I guess selfish probably isn't the right word, but.
No, yeah. I get that.
I also want to talk about her healing Roz, because what's different about this scene, besides there being no spell, is that Roz asks her to heal her.
Yes.
And then Sabrina says yes. And then what's really interesting about this scene is Sabrina sets it up, but then Roz checks to make sure Harvey's there and Theo's there, basically. And they're the ones that help Roz rinse out her eyes. It is not Sabrina. And then only once she can see again, she sees Sabrina, and then she hugs her. And then it's like her, Sabrina, and Theo are hugging, like the core friendship. And Harvey's kind of off to the side. But it's almost like there's no iteration where the four of them are all part of a thing. Like, there always has to be one of, like, either Harvey or Sabrina has to be on the outside.
Yeah, that's
and I
a
thought
really
that
good
was
point.
really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. They're also teenagers. Like, this seems very accurate.
No, totally. But I think that's a really good, like I said, really good point.
But yeah, I really like that Roz asks for help and Sabrina does it. And Harvey looks freaked out the whole time.
Yes, he does.
Her creating the image of the Dark Lord, real fun. Real cool.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm like, get it, girl.
Yeah. And she would know. She's seen him.
Yeah, she's seen him. He shows up for her.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the Caligari spell, Zelda killing Leviathan, being aware but unable to make your own choices.
Yes.
Is horrifying, and also like a way a lot of people have to live when they're in dangerous situations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, this is like once again a really great way to kind of like call attention to that.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that have to pretend to make choices that they don't agree with because out of their safety.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it hitting the nail on the head for like domestic abuse situations.
I think it's really poignant. Ambrose, at the end, he's visited by Prudence, and she's like, what is she? And, you know, he's like, are you asking for yourself or Blackwood? Which I thought was really good. But then when he's like, I'm Prudence, I'm scared. And she's like, you live with honor, you will die with it. And I'm like, girl, you're part of the reason he's in here.
Yeah, I hate this Prudence stuff.
I hate this Prudence stuff too, because it's not Prudence.
No.
It doesn't feel like the Prudence we know.
No, it completely sands away any of the strong individual that we had in the like part one.
Mm-hmm.
That she's
independent thinker too.
Totally. And also to have like our like,
and that all of this changed just because she was like, well, except that she did want to be sacrificed. So she's always been very devout.
Yeah.
So there is that. And then when she finds out that he's really her father, it makes sense. I just don't like it.
Yeah, especially when it's your one of your main black woman on screen.
Yes, I don't like that.
Who's like betraying all of the good-meaning white people.
Mm-hmm.
Well-meaning, I mean. Yeah, I don't think Prudence would take it as far as she does. I think she would. It seems like she puts up with like Blackwood shit for like far too long.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. But then I guess we do get at the end of the second episode, part of her thing is like protecting Agatha and Dorcas.
Yeah.
So Wardwell, Lilith, removes a rib to create a monster. Instead of women were created from man's rib, man was created from her rib. She kills a man to create life, death, and rebirth. Once again, she's like, let me kill this man and then build a new man out of the ashes, or the blood in this case. And then she makes a monster and she names him Adam, another death and rebirth. I just was like, oh, that's cute. Good for her.
Yeah. No, that's
you know what? Good for her.
It. Exactly. Yes, Lucille Bluth.
Good for her. So then we get the Nick and the Harvey of it all.
Yeah.
Nick's a little jealous.
Yeah.
After he's dug in the trash, which makes sense because you couldn't have Sabrina digging in the trash because it would have been suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick could be like, oh, I lost my wallet. You know, whatever. Like, I don't know. Do what you do, Warlock scary wallets. I don't know. You know what I think is also funny? They refer to their like culture as like witches.
Yeah.
But then the warlocks are in charge.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is so it tells you that linguistically, as a society, at some point the women were in charge because that's how it was referred to. At
Yeah.
least I assume. I guess historically, not linguistically, but I assume via language. That's how we learn this, because it's hard to change how people refer to something.
Yeah.
It takes time. Anyway, so Nick's jealous that Harvey was there to catch Sabrina, and he wants to catch her. And then Harvey stops him from getting to catch her. Not that he was going to have to, because she was going to fly, but it does. You are like, he's like, what? Like, he looks very upset. And then you're like, because he's like, oh, I get to catch her at least.
Right, exactly. I'll be there to help her. She's
going to do something dumb, but like, I get to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of down bad I want a man.
That's right. Yeah, I think the entire episode where he is worried, but expressing himself about being like, well, where does this leave me? Like, I'm resistant to this because all this looks like I will be out of the picture.
Well, and he's very communicative in that way. Like, he very much from the beginning, even when he's like, I think what you're doing is risky, but like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Like, I love that. Like, I support you in this journey.
Yeah, he's hesitant, but he keeps showing up, and he communicates his needs of like, you know, I am feeling worried about this. I'm feeling worried about us.
And Roz clocks it because you really believe in her, don't you?
Yeah.
Harvey never believed in her. He can't believe in the good in Sabrina because he can't understand it, because she's not mortal, and he can't handle that. Whereas like he could not believe in all of Sabrina.
Yeah.
Whereas Nick from the beginning is like, yeah, down bad.
That's right.
Harvey in Tunnel 13. Harvey goes back to the mine. He's drawing wide-eyed Sabrinas at his kitchen table. If I was his father, I think I'd be like, why are you drawing your ex-girlfriend in Jesus iconography, but with white eyes?
Right.
Your Jean Grey ex-girlfriend Jesus fan fiction art here is getting a little weird.
That's why he's like, why don't you come work with the mine?
You should come down in the mines.
It's the funniest thing.
Harvey gets attacked in the tunnel, and Theo saves him with the axe.
Yeah.
We love that.
Theo gets to be the hero in both of these episodes.
Yes, but what is the thing, guard, like the white woman thing?
I didn't quite get that either.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah. I wasn't quite sure what that is. That was like a really old witch that was abandoned, or like a weird something.
Yeah, maybe some sort of folklore-ish thing, or you know, that is being included. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know enough about like folklore in regards to like mines too. You know what I mean?
Both of these episodes do something funny that I find in television, where it's like they build something up as this bad. Like they do the same thing with Adam. This is kind of like spoiling a little bit next episode, but it's like, ooh, or there's this woman's voice coming from there, and then they end up just kind of being like chumps.
Yeah.
They're just gone in like 2 seconds.
What I think this show does really well is like the things you think are going to go smooth don't, and the things you don't think are going to go smooth do.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think that's like what keeps you intrigued and like into it.
Yeah. I think it just is just kind of like, you know, balloon slowly deflating. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Definitely. And then Harvey says, "You ever loved me. If you ever loved me."
It's such an out-of-pocket thing to do.
Not, Sabrina, get down here. We have an emergency.
Yeah.
Sabrina, you can't do this right now. I literally have a major emergency. Theo and I both are saying there's a major emergency. Come down here, please.
It's such a wild thing to say. Especially when next episode, it's not like there's any like back and forth of whether he still likes Sabrina. He does love Roz, and he like shows that in multiple ways, also from when the mandrake is like, you know, being weird to him, and him being like, no, I don't love you anymore. But it is like, so why did you say what you said?
I think he still does, but I think he's too afraid to like I don't think he's fully over her.
Right. Yeah. I think it's just a wild thing to say, dude.
It's out of pocket. You know what I've never said to anybody that I wasn't dating? If you ever loved me. Usually I say things like, if you love me, you will.
I'm like, in what context would that ever be okay? And it would maybe be like if she was like trying to hurt him or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, remember those feelings that you had for me.
Exactly.
Like, don't kill me.
If she was like possessed by some evil energy and he was like, oh, but remember you did love me. Like that'd be one thing. But that's not what's happening.
No. And then it kind of comes up briefly next episode, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I don't like how this goes down.
Yeah.
But it does feel true. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it happens the way it would happen to teenagers, but I'm just like, eh.
Yes, Harvey would do this.
Yeah. It feels like Harvey.
Yes, it does.
Any other thoughts on this episode?
No, I think that is it for this one.
All right.
Cool. On to the next. Okay. Chapter 19, The Mandrake. Harvey draws the mosaic from memory, and the group all gathers at Dr. C's to discuss. Harvey says he'll board up Tunnel 13 so no one finds the mosaic, and Sabrina gets the drawing from Harvey to see if she can get help on this. Roz asks Harvey why he said to Sabrina, it's like, hey, what was that thing about like her ever loving you? And Theo's like, well, I'm just going to head home. And then like Harvey's like, well, you know, I did love her at some point, but like, no, it's not good timing. I love you. And they kiss.
How long have these children been dating? What is the time in this world?
That's what I wonder. So this is going back to my question of like, you haven't been around Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, how long has it been? But I don't think that long. To your point, it's maybe it was a month or two.
I mean, that's fine. I'm not here to critique. I just was like,
Yeah.
what is the timeline on this?
Mm-hmm. Sabrina and Nick go to visit Lilith to ask for help. We see Lilith training Adam, and she's like, I created you to kill Sabrina. Sabrina and Nick arrive and show her the picture, and Lilith is like, well, it does look like you'll bring about the apocalypse. And Sabrina asks how to stop the prophecy, and Lilith says, to get rid of your powers, you could use a mandrake spell. And Nick is like, I don't know about this. There's got to be another way. She doesn't have to give rid of her powers. And
Because
like,
Nick is like me, and he thinks that that's a really stupid trope.
yes.
Nick and I have read too
up.
many books. We're like,
Yes.
you're not doing this. This is how it always goes. And you know what? We don't like it.
Mm-mm. Yeah, he's like, I've seen too many strong women in my novels give up their powers like
What do
this.
you think Nick reads besides like?
Oh,
these
okay. So
textbooks?
he probably reads. I think he's a big romanticy.
You think he's a romanticy?
Yeah, I think he's into some of that stuff. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
Or do you think he likes like a traditional like modern romance because he's already like in the like fantasy realm?
Yeah.
Like, is he just reading like
Maybe-
classic like yeah?
Yeah, maybe like he has like his favorite the book is like a Pride and Prejudice or something.
Oh, I was even just thinking like a modern romance. You know, like
Oh, yeah,
he's
that
reading
too.
like he's like, what are the morals up to? Like he's watching his Hallmark movies.
That's true. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's like, yes, the Christmas season is here.
Me and Nick have,
That's right.
have big plans this winter.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think I've ever watched like a real Hallmark movie.
Never front to back.
Yeah. We'll
I've
have to do
seen
that
bits
at
and
some point.
pieces. Yeah. Maybe we'll even put it up in the feed.
Yeah. Also, like if you have one you recommend, let us know.
That's
Or
right.
like a Netflix version of a Hallmark movie. You know, like everyone kind of puts out that same like holiday romance, you know, like it's like a prince for Christmas or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What I think is interesting because it shows the breadth of like how long this type of like production and like what Hallmark has done over the years is shelved by genre in between all their different units. It's like, you know, they'll cover science fiction this unit and then the next unit's dystopia books that they read. But in between those, they watch a Hallmark movie. But like, it's not just like exactly the ones you think, like, you know, they've done a couple where it's like Christmas or something like that. But they also go into the back catalog where it's like, here's this random Hallmark movie that's a made for TV movie of like an earthquake that's going to destroy the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
They're very soap opera-y.
Yeah, totally. I was like, oh, I did before them. I'm like, oh, I always just thought of Hallmark as the like, you know, romance, kind of like cozy romance sort of thing. Oh yeah, Nick storms off because he's like, I'm gonna find another way where Sabrina can keep her powers. Sabrina follows after him, and Lilith tells Adam to follow her and kill her. Sabrina wonders if her father knew about her destiny and asks Nick to look into it for her, and he agrees, and he's like, don't do anything while I'm away. And she's like, mm-hmm.
And she crosses her fingers while she's saying yes. She crosses her fingers behind his back.
Behind his back.
So when she's lying to a boyfriend, or I guess anyone, she crosses her fingers. It's like I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
Like it's a great way as the audience for us to know that Sabrina's going to go do, we knew anyway, but it's a great way for us to know, oh, she is actively lying to this person. She
Totally.
is choosing to lie to this person.
Mm-hmm. And fun, like kind of like showing like, oh yeah, she is young.
Mm-hmm. She's just a kid.
Yeah. Sabrina asks for Ambrose's help with the mandrake spell, and he's like, well, that's essentially suicide because you're going to make yourself mortal. He gives the speech that Elrond gives to Arwen in Lord of the Rings. You are going to watch your husband grow frail and old and die, and then eventually you will die. But it's the opposite for her. It's like we get to we all watch you wither away.
Yes, and he's like, he also later in the episode he goes, yeah, it's just like, oh, like she's upset or whatever, and he's like, you're gonna be really upset when you get that first cold.
Yes,
Isn't that?
Uh-huh. It's really good.
It's so funny.
Sabrina says she's a pawn in the Dark Lord's game and wants to stop the apocalypse. They get a mandrake root from the garden, and Ambrose casts the spell. He watches over her while she sleeps, but in the morning, Sabrina wakes up to find the spell didn't work and Ambrose is asleep, and Ambrose is like, well, I was reading while you were asleep that we can instead create a mud golem to try and do the same thing. Blackwood speaks to the coven and says the witches' council has turned their back on them, and the two Judas boys reveal I don't quite know what this statue is either. Is it supposed to be him with a witch underneath? Or
is it Judas?
Yeah, but I don't know of any stories of Judas, like, essentially subjugating a woman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't quite know what this is supposed to be. But it's essentially a man in robes standing over a woman, like, lying on the ground. And they're now the Church of Judas. Hilda comes up to Sabrina's room and finds Sabrina there acting really excited and childlike. Hilda doesn't quite notice how off she seems yet. Prudence asks about all the new rules set down on witches, and it's like, hey, we can't do anything now. Like all these restrictive rules, I can't take any of the classes like warlocks take and stuff. And it's like, did the Dark Lord speak to you? And Blackwood's like, no, I made those, but it's through all my scholastic study that I came to these insights. And it's like, Prudence, help me make the other girls understand, and then the rules don't apply to you. I'm like, that's just conservative ideology right there.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of women right now, mostly blonde.
Exactly.
Not all of them, though.
No.
One of them who likes to wear a hat.
That's right.
She wears a lot of hats. Have you noticed that? Anyway, which I love a baseball hat. So that's,
right.
Nothing. But, and yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Reading up on what
a lot of blonde and a lot of filler and a lot of Botox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is. Yeah, exactly. There's a very famous brunette that is doing the exact same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But reading up on the Hunting Wives, that sounds kind of like what that's about, but a whole lot more smutty.
Well, in that case,
yeah. Zelda,
you know what? Maybe they'd all be happier if they were all fucking.
Well, I think they are in a lot of sense.
That's probably.
I'm talking about the brunette in this. I'm literally talking about Christy Nome.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Zelda comes, and then also Stephen Miller's wife.
I don't think I know what she looks like.
I don't know what she looks. I think she's brunette also.
Oh.
But famously, that's why Elon Musk had a black eye. Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. There's this whole thing about
Interesting.
I'll
be Googling after this.
Yep. Zelda calls Hilda.
Brenton's actually our pop culture politics section of the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. God. Zelda calls Hilda through the mirror and warns about Blackwood isolating the church. Hilda speaks to the council about Blackwood. Okay, real quick. There was because I think it goes Christy Dome though is with RFK Jr., right? And there's a tweet that was like it's like the whenever she hears a garbage disposal, I should call him.
He does sound like he's gargling nails at all times.
Oh. Anyways, Hilda speaks to the council about Blackwood, and the council's like, well, he can go for the church however he sees fit. And Hilda's like, okay, you know what? I see what you're all about.
You privileged motherfuckers.
It's like if Blackwood falls, then that looks bad on all of you, and all of your power comes crumbling down, and you just won't stick your neck outs and are letting the rest of us fall. I see you.
And the Dark Lord does too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep. That's a really good point. She adds a text that on. The peppy Sabrina, who we later learn, the mandrake, visits Harvey saying, I'm here because you said you still love me and I still love you. And Harvey's like, well, I loved you back then. And he avoids her trying to kiss him. And he's like, we're just friends now. And she's like, I know how to make you love me. And then summons her magic.
I love her acting in this episode.
Oh, she does a really good job.
She's so good at playing both characters. Do you know how I've talked about the Vampire Diaries a lot, but Elena and Catherine are played by the same actress.
Oh.
And she does a really good job of when you're watching a scene knowing which one's Elena and which one's Catherine. And you can even tell.
Dobrev.
Yeah, you can even tell when she's playing Catherine playing Elena. Like,
yeah.
because then it becomes this whole like who's being who, or when Elena tries to pretend to be Catherine. Like you get these really good scenes where you can tell if you know the characters at all, and so you're like, that's really good acting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what this is.
They make her do so much, but yeah, they do.
Yeah, they made that poor woman do so much. Nina Dobrev did so much on that show.
Yeah, but oh my god,
Kiernan Shipka.
Thank you. Does such a good job in this episode doing that.
Yes, she's also just such a good actress.
Yeah,
she really is amazing.
And in the last episode, oh my god, of course I just lost her name. Plays Zelda.
Oh no, you just made me forget her name. This is embarrassing.
Yep.
I can remember everyone else's name.
I know,
right
it's just driving me nuts. I can't believe I forgot. Why isn't this telling me who played her? Miranda Otto.
Thank you. I was like,
does such a good job in the last episode of playing like
yes.
mind controlled ditzy
yes, and then
spacey.
The moment it breaks and she's like, what the hell? Like what
yeah, what the hell am I wearing?
Is it like what in heaven's name am I wearing? Something like
yes. that. There's another really good pun like that. I think it's instead of like
unholy something.
Yeah, like holy I forget what it is.
Yeah,
but
it's not
it is
like unholy shit, but it's something like that.
Yeah. The Judas boys bring Elsbeth, who tried to run away, to Blackwood, who tried to run away. She's supposed to be put to death, but both Zelda and Prudence talk him out of it, and Elsbeth gets thrown in the witch's cell. Blackwood tells the Judas boys to kill Sabrina.
To starve Elsbeth.
Yes, and to starve her. The mandrake visits Roz and says she doesn't want to fight over Harvey, and Roz is like, what the hell are you talking about? And touches her hand, and it's like, you're not Sabrina. And then the mandrake casts a spell on her. Zelda brings Elsbeth's food, and Prudence rounds the corner and is like, you're a traitor. And Zelda puts her in her place about Blackwood subjugating them all. The mandrake goes to Theo's house and talks all sorts of transphobic shit. And then when Theo pushes back, the mandrake casts another spell. We'll have to talk more about like the mandrake positioned in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Nick visits Sabrina, the real one, and says he found something that changes everything. And she's like, well, I was just down at Sweetwater River. Hey, we know Sweetwater River. Making a mud golem. And then Sabrina goes upstairs to wash off as we see Adam come into the house. Adam attacks her while she's in the bathtub, and Nick comes up and fights him off and pulls out Lilith's rib, which renders him dead. Sabrina tells Nick she performed the mandrake spell, and that's why she couldn't defend herself from Adam, and there must be a double of her running around. Nick is sad she didn't wait for him and says he only cares about her. Like, I'm sorry if that's selfish. I don't care about the world. I care about you.
Oh, this is like one of my favorite things in the world when a man is like, I would rather save you than the world. And I'm like, yes.
That's right.
That's how down bad you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then women, because we're so much better than men, we're like, oh my gosh, like we love that you love us this way, but we have to also save the world.
Yeah.
But that's how down bad you're supposed to be, that you listen to women.
Yes, absolutely. I love I love that too. You gotta support your woman, number one. You gotta support your partner, just in general, over everything else. But I love a story too where it like flips that on its head, where it's like, I'm gonna choose you and not choose to save the world.
Yes. Oh, it's so hot.
Good. It's so good.
It's so hot. And it creates good friction because then the character that like wants to save the world is like, well,
yeah,
we have to save the world, but you love me.
Yeah. Maybe I'll save it off because it would actually ruin how the movie goes. There's a really good anime that was very famous about 10 years ago. Maybe people will kind of pick up on it. Where the movie version of that's like how the twist goes. It's really good.
I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it like by myself.
The elevator music playing in my head is unaware.
Just say it obliquely to maybe the audience in case they pick up on it.
No, I love that for them.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me later.
Exactly. Let's see. Oh, double for running around. Nick says, I found a prophecy that a half shadow girl will perform miracles that are perversions of Jesus, the Nazarene. That will bring about the apocalypse. Nick says she hasn't done all of them yet. Sabrina realizes that Lilith guided her down the path to do all of these miracles and thinks that the mandrake spell was suggested to her to create a double that'll finish her work. It's a really good thought to have here, but not quite right.
I do like that she's like, oh, I figured this out and it's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's good.
It's like so close to being the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina and Nick go to interrogate Lilith, and Sabrina asks where she's keeping her doppelganger, and Lilith is like, I literally have no idea what you're talking about. Nick has Lilith bound while Sabrina heads out to kill her double. The mandrake is waiting.
He uses the rib to bind her.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. The mandrake is walking in the woods when the Judas boys spring a trap, and the mandrake snaps all their necks. Theo gets woken up by Dorothea and finds that all of the mortal friends were attached to mandrakes to create doubles of themselves, and sees that Harvey's is starting to wake up. Theo grabs a rock and hits it in the face, then grabs a boulder and crushes its head. Theo also crushes his own mandrake and Roz's, and Roz and Harvey wake up as Sabrina's mandrake comes back upset that Theo murdered the others. Hilda gets visited by the Methuselah, and he says he was just playing a part with the other council members and he can try and sway them, and then goes, you must show me how much you want Blackwood's demise, and touches her leg. Zelda comes into Blackwood's office and finds him with baby Letitia, and Zelda then grabs Prudence's knife because she realized she's been betrayed and puts it to her throat. Blackwood's like, okay, kill her. I've got another daughter. And Zelda pulls the knife away as the Judas boys grab her and take her away. The mandrake cries in the living room as Ambrose comes in to comfort her. He slowly realizes that she's the mandrake, not Sabrina, and then the real Sabrina comes in, and the mandrake tells Ambrose to kill the real Sabrina, and Ambrose invokes a supposedly old witch law to have a pistol duel between them, and the mandrake falls for it and challenges the real Sabrina. Prudence asks what Blackwood will do with the baby girl, and he's like, well, she'll have the best of everything and then be betrothed to her brother Judas. And Prudence is like, well, I'm going to draw the line at incest here. Ambrose tells Sabrina she'll never get her witch powers back if she kills the mandrake, and Sabrina's like, will it hurt the mandrake if I kill it? And Ambrose's like, well, it is part of you, but also for this duel, you got to think of it that it's kind of like a newborn, so it doesn't really know like strategy and things yet. The mortal crew sort through what happened, and Roz says she loves Harvey, and they kiss, and Theo is stuck there third wheeling. Prudence comes to help Zelda escape, and she won't go with Zelda because she feels like she needs to stay for her siblings and the coven. Lilith tells Nick they can't stop the prophecy, and she asks how they pieced it together, and he's like, I read about it in the Codex Prognostica, and Lilith asks him to read the whole prophecy to her because I think it's kind of picking up that she doesn't know this whole prophecy. Like, she knows what she was being asked to do, but doesn't know.
No, she doesn't know. Yeah, she's like, of course I know it. Tell me. Read it to me.
Uh-huh.
This dumb boy.
And then Nick reads it to her, and then says that Sabrina's going to kill the mandrake and stop the prophecy, and Lilith's like, no, she's going to be fulfilling it. The ultimate perversion of Jesus sacrificing himself is to kill yourself, and Sabrina will literally be killing herself by killing the mandrake, and Nick reads the final line that Sabrina will rule at the Dark Lord's side, and Lilith's like, we need to find and stop Sabrina now. Zelda comes home and asks for Hilda's help talking to the council, and Hilda's like, well, I kind of killed Methuselah, and we see that his body is covered in spiders and cobwebs.
Honestly?
Because he got handsy.
Yeah, get it, girl.
Mm-hmm. We support her. Showdown for the Sabrinas. The real Sabrina turns around early and shoots the mandrake in the gut, which is real sad because the mandrake's like, you cheated.
Yeah, that wasn't fair.
Uh-huh.
And Sabrina's like, no, it wasn't fair.
And then the real Sabrina runs over and holds the mandrake's hand as she passes away, and Nick and Lilith run up, and it's like, shit, you just completed the prophecy. The end.
Okay, let's start with the mandrake.
Yeah.
I love her acting. I've already said this 4 times.
Yes.
Giving all her power to a mandrake is absolutely wild. Especially, just because she has so much power and it doesn't work like normal witch power. Like, assuming any of this would work is baffling.
Yeah. And then the mandrake is literally just going around like, yeah, I'm just using, like, gobs of power. Like, when the mandrake just kills, like, all the warlocks in, like, one go.
Yes, exactly. It's definitely a choice. I think what's interesting with the mandrake is... Well, first let's talk about the mandrake is fucked up. The mandrake is a Sabrina without a soul, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. Like, because it's like it has all the wants and desires of a Sabrina-like character, which is like to be wanted and to be loved. And so is the mandrake telling us that Sabrina still loves Harvey more than...
No, I assumed, so I was like trying to like parse through this because I'm like, okay, like how do I think through this also when we think of like Theo?
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to if you had said yes.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, you're wrong. I was setting you up.
Let's see if this son of a bitch steps into the trap.
Is he as dumb as I think men are?
She put a piece of candy underneath a box that was held up by a stick.
And you know what? He almost got it, but he
exactly. I was like, you know what?
Brenton climbed in the box first and said, oh, yeah. Oh, right. No, I'm stuck.
It's kind of comfy in here.
Yeah. You got a blanket?
Exactly. That I assumed it was just the parts of her. It's kind of like getting rid of all, but as I was thinking of it, it's like getting rid of all your, like those like kind of like conflicted and like intrusive thought, like the things she's trying to let go of, I think moved into the mandrake. I think that's what it is. And I think that shows with like Harvey of like getting rid of those like old feelings for him and moving on. I think with Roz, it's like some of the maybe the jealousy that would be the conflicted feelings there as they started up. And I think also with Theo, it's like the part of you that thinks she it's that part of her that tells her it's like, oh, if Theo wants to be a boy,
then I need to. Then the only way Theo can be happy is if Theo allows me to change who Theo is fundamentally.
Yeah. And it's like the way that I think, again, like I don't think this is how Sabrina actually feels, but the part of her that's going, it's like how I could help Theo.
Yes.
Is like by like literally like helping him have like transition in like the, gender, like gender
affirming.
Thank you. I was like, what's the second word there? Gender affirming like surgery. But so I think you get a really good scene of the type of like bad, or the more like not bad, but like, damn, what I'm trying to say. Like a bad ally in that sense.
Oh yeah.
Of like, oh, I think I know what you need.
I'm going to tell you what you need. When it's that part of Sabrina that goes, I'm going to fix it for you.
Yeah.
Without your consent and without your opinions mattering.
Yeah.
Let me fix this for you.
And I think it's an astute way of thinking also how a lot of cisgender people like think the weird psychosis we have around like thinking of transgender people.
Yes.
Of like focusing on genitals and body parts.
Yes, where it's like that's not the focus.
No. Theo's like, I am a boy.
Yeah.
And, that doesn't preclude. I think that's also walking a fine line. And the show, I don't think it does a good job of this, of not being like, Theo doesn't need that, but it's not saying that it's like a bad thing.
Exactly.
To have like gender affirming surgery. Because people can.
Theo is part of too why Theo's like, oh, I don't need this. I don't want this. What right now, maybe ever. But Theo also had that vision with the fortune teller that also pushed that direction. So is it like I'm comfortable with who I am and how I am and how I express myself to the world and I know I'm a boy and that's what matters. Yeah. And so I don't need to change myself to know that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I think is a nice growth from the vision where it's like Theo stole the stuff to become to change himself and then ends up becoming a tree.
Yeah, right, exactly. By trying to not ask for help and not be vulnerable and open himself up.
Exactly.
For help. So yeah, I mean, I obviously if the audience members take it a different way that like are trans and things, I think it personally does a good job of like towing that line. But I mean like totally like sound off in the comments or send us an email if you like took it a different way. We're both cis, so
totally.
This is us kind of like just hearing stories and things.
Exactly. Yeah, I also think what's interesting about the mandrake, so they play with this duality of like the mandrake being childlike and innocent and also the mandrake being this like kind of really evil being.
Yes.
And so I think what the mandrake does really well is it shows that like the innocent parts of Sabrina and kind of the parts that her Aunt Hilda was really trying to hold on to of her, which is ironic that they use a mandrake from Aunt Hilda's garden. But these parts of her, that the human parts of her, I say that in air quotes, that she's really trying to hold on to is not inherently good. It's not like human is good and witch is bad, which is kind of like the angle we've been given kind of from
Yes.
Hilda before.
Mm-hmm.
And as the characters, it's like, oh, it shows that like there is still a lot of bad on that side of things.
Yeah.
And I think framing it as like, well, it's like childlike, and they're doing it because they're trying to say like, oh, it doesn't have strategy. But like children, young children, like babies, are not inherently manipulative.
Mhm.
They are if-then statements.
Yeah.
If I do this, then this happens. If I do this, then this happens. They don't have the mental capacity to manipulate. So I do wonder, like, is the mandrake more sophisticated than that, where it's manipulating intentionally, or is it just if I do this, then I have these friends?
Yeah. I think that's exactly what it is. I think
It's like the danger of ignorance.
Yeah, and exact danger of ignorance and like having all this power. Like there's a, if a toddler had all that power too, it'd be like, well, then I can just have ice cream or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, because I want ice cream. The if-then statement.
Exactly. The killing herself, like killing the like human innocent part of her is kind of how I view it, which is ironic because she's mortal when she's killing the witchy part. I still view it as her killing her more human part because it's more earthy. It's like a literal vegetable.
Yeah, that's true. And it's all about the mandrake is then all about all of her mortal friends and stuff. The mandrake's not going after Nick.
No, the mandrake doesn't look at Nick at all.
No.
I think that's interesting too. It's like, does the mandrake not, like, Sabrina's holding on to Nick. Sabrina didn't give Nick to the mandrake.
Mm-hmm.
That's very astute. I really like that. The other thing I really like about the mandrake is it starts to play with twin imagery, which becomes like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think duality, two sides, mortal witch, two halves of the same person, like all of those things really start to come into play with this mandrake and this idea that like we've always had like, oh, there's two parts of Sabrina, but like the more we watch, the more we see that the mortal and witch parts of Sabrina are so deeply embedded in each other that it's almost impossible to separate. And so with the mandrake, it's like, well, it has the witch powers, but the mortal desires. And so Sabrina's on the other end then has like the witch desires and her mortal powers. And that's kind of her, not ideal, but like what she's like, oh, this is what would make me good.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just, I think it's really fun to play with that like duality and like the two sides of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the witch powers being like evil, so I have to get rid of them because they're from hell and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Whereas I think this show's doing you were born into a context that doesn't necessarily make you evil.
Mm-hmm. I was going to go more into the witch mortal here, but we kind of already did it in the last one where it's like, well, now they will all be under Satan when Satan, now that she's opened the gates of hell. So it is what it is. But except for Sabrina, who, power or no power, we don't know how she ends up here. She will be on the throne as his queen.
Yes.
And what does that mean with the Dark Lord?
Yeah.
We already know, so we can't say anything. But
that's right.
You want to make some guesses.
That's right. You got 1 week to do it.
Yeah, put it in the comments. Let's talk about Wardwell. So Sabrina figures out kind of what's going on, as we discussed, not fully, and confronts her with Nick. And then Wardwell, our really big thing here is, one, it's interesting that like her powers are still way more closely related to witch. She's just a normal witch.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like
yeah,
Nick,
totally.
Nick can use his powers and the little string around the rib to bind her.
Mm-hmm.
So she is limited in ways that I think Sabrina, when she has her powers, is not.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah, because it's not like she's just... It's a really good point, because it's not like she's just like, oh, Adam, and... Because that's what like Sabrina would do. She's like, Scarecrow, you have life.
Exactly. She can't give... Well, Sabrina's only given life to things that had life.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
She's never created life out of nothing.
Yeah.
So would she have had to have taken a life to create a life?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But yeah, I don't think like Lilith would be able to like raise someone from the dead.
Totally. And then you can't stop the prophecy, and then the shadow girl will rule by his side. I love that she plays Nick to get the answers. So she's like, hey, read it to me, boy.
Uh-huh. Well, of course I know. But I want to hear it in your voice.
Yeah,
What kind of reading do you do?
You're a good reader.
Exactly. You have a strong voice. I bet you would be great on audiobooks.
Exactly. So then he reads to her from the Tomb of Tombs. the half shadow girl.
The Codex Prognostica.
Yeah. And she does her satanic perversions. And I think it's really good because I'd forgotten about the limbo part.
Yes.
So I was like,
Me
oh
too.
yeah, like that's another. I'm really glad they recapped this for us because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, that one counts. And that one counts.
Limbo. That wasn't good.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't a good one either. They all went pretty bad.
So that was her going into limbo.
To try to go get Tommy's soul.
Right.
To bring him back to his body. Because she had rebought his body back, but she's like, that's not right.
Right. And then I guess in relation to Jesus, is that he's going to like...
Oh, I don't know.
Is that because like no one's soul could get into heaven?
Oh, maybe.
The perversion there of him like breaking down limbo?
I guess. I don't know. I don't remember
Right.
all of Jesus's miracles. I only remember Lazarus for the most part.
And I remember Miracles by the Insane Clown Posse.
There you go. Then we get the Nick. We have the Nick. We already talked about it. I don't care about the world. I only care about you. And I'm like, ooh, hot. Let's go to Blackwood and the Church of Judas. I'm unhappy.
Yeah, I would feel pretty upset if my growing up, because I grew up Catholic, if my Catholic church all of a sudden one day was just like, we're done with the big Catholic church and we're doing our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, all the restrictive rules.
Well, they kind of all already do because they'll talk about things that aren't necessarily like the Pope will be like, that's actually not like a thing that we should be worrying about.
Right.
So
fair enough. Fair enough.
Man, can't follow instructions. But so the real focus of this is not Blackwood and his craziness because we don't really give a shit at this point.
We've already talked about
Prudence is like, well, I'm fine as long as I'm exempt from misogyny, kind of. And then realizes when she's like, oh my God, my father's going to marry my siblings together to keep the bloodline pure. And that's fucking weird. Like, and I think also when she realizes that Zelda, one, isn't going to kill her. Zelda was never going to kill Prudence. She was just threatening Prudence. But two, that he was like, oh, kill her. I don't care. Like, I think that's the moment she's like, oh shit. Like, I'm never going to be seen. And now that we've brought back baby Letitia, he has another daughter. And so I am no longer relevant because he only needs, one of each child basically. And I'm only a tool for him. And
then also learning what his plans were for the daughter anyway. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't leave her here with this.
And what were his plans then by proxy for me?
Yeah, I don't think so because I don't think he would have used her in that way because she wasn't like she's a Blackwood, but she wasn't like a pure Blackwood,
That's fair.
I think there's something with that, like in the sense that he chose to acknowledge her later when it was convenient to him.
Yeah.
I really love Zelda when Prudence is like, well, I have his blood or I have his name, or whatever, and Zelda's like, so do I. Like, that doesn't matter.
Shit, I didn't think about that one.
She stays for Dorcas, Agatha, the others to protect them. I like that. I think that's important. I think Prudence needs to be there.
Yeah, I think the turn on Prudence is good. I just think leading up, it's like, why is Prudence the one that we're doing this with? Like, I hate
exactly.
this.
And like,
Prudence, you're just making her so unlikable.
They should have done this with like Dorcas in terms of like turning in Ambrose.
Yeah,
like the Ambrose stuff should have all been Dorcas.
Yep,
and it shouldn't have been Prudence. And
Prudence was like too strong for this.
Well, and also Prudence was fucking Ambrose and she was having fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's like attached. Like I think that's part of what they all do. But like she would have known, like when would he have done it? You know what I mean? Like it's just...
Yeah. And she is just like, she was so strong in a way that Dorcas never was in the show of like pushing back on this shit.
Exactly. So if you used one of the other sisters, I just picked Dorcas because I think that's more likely.
Yeah. And they kind of make Dorcas like the snake throughout all these.
Exactly. So then, speaking of misogyny, we get to Hilda, who summons the council and tells him that Blackwood has gone off his rocker and then threatens them. But then the creepy guy comes and she kills him.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have no issues with this. No issues whatsoever.
Zelda's just like, well, that's going to be hard. I don't think the council's going to look kindly on that. But.
Yes. But, it is what it is. As
the snapped episode, you like to quote.
Some men just need killing.
That's right.
I like am not certain if that's even the full quote, but that's how my mom and I have always said it. You know what I mean? It could be one of those things where we heard something once and we changed it.
If you've listened to this podcast, we've got all sorts of sayings that are just like so close to the actual quote.
And some of them might be made up. Who knows?
That's right.
But those are my big takeaways from this. Is there anything you want to add?
No, I think we covered it.
Yeah, cool.
So one more episode. We'll extend out spooky season by 1 week to finish up Sabrina Part 2. It'll be like our All Saints Day special.
Ooh.
A few days late, but
Very Catholic of us.
Exactly. Similar sort of thing. To wrap up spooky season and wrap up Part 2 before we head back to Riverdale. So we'll just be watching the finale next week.
Nice.
But you can find this podcast on all your podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube, where you can watch the video version, see our faces, see us talking to the microphones at dead_ends. You can also leave us comments there. We love talking to people in the comments. Or you can send us an email, deadendspcast@gmail.com, if you'd prefer to do it that way. What else? Oh, our art is made by Vendredick, and you can find a link to their Tumblr in all the podcast show links. Show descriptions. And what else? We're on Blue Sky at dead-ends. And
tonight, we're going to sit down and we're going to make an Instagram.
That's right. So maybe if you go to the Blue Sky, you might see a post about an Instagram being made.
After we get our flu shots. That's what we're going to do tonight.
Maybe on YouTube, too. I forgot we can do a post on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So, am I missing anything? I think that's everything.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Ready?
And so we do it one more time next week. But for as we close out spooky season. Spooky season. Spooky season.
He tired. He's doing the eye rub.
Yeah.
Gotta put you down for your nap soon.
Also, the delay on the headphones just increased. It
threw me off. Are you ready?
Yes.
Not today, Satan. That was pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah.
And we love you.
We love you. And we hope you're okay.
Yeah.
And we give you a big hug. Yeah, just like that. Good job.
Thank you.